So there was a part last night. This is a hot minute last night where you're watching Thursday Night Football. You're watching Philadelphia against Houston on one screen and Philadelphia against Houston on another screen. If you're got two screens, you got Thursday Night Football. You got World Series Game 5, Philly versus Houston. There was a part of Thursday Night Football where you thought just for a hot minute, is it possible Houston sweeps the night?
Houston parlay.
Is it possible? Like, holy John McClane, Batman. Is it feasible?
My pleasure.
Could it? My pleasure.
That Houston will hang the first L of the season on the Philadelphia Eagles, that they're coming off a bye week, and it's been a while since they've been hit.
It's been a while.
They got the coffee breath, the BO, sitting around, to use the midnight run phrase. Their head's not in the game. Houston gets its first touchdown on an opening drive since week 16 last year, 7-0.
Amazing drive.
And
I don't even know who the tight end was. It Quentin Tarantino? That was his first ever catch.
Unbelievable. Well done out of him. It was great. And then even at halftime, it's 14-all at half. And you go in higher register like, hey, the Texans might be able to pull this thing off.
I might have bet Eagles first half. They were 7 for 7.
Yeah. Okay. Did you say congratulations to that? Or?
Narrator, they lost.
Okay.
They didn't cover the
first okay. Half, yeah. So that was bad for you.
It was bad for me.
Sorry. And then the Eagles did their thing, which is interesting because their thing has been to dominate early and then swoon and then dominate late. That's been their MO this year. Okay?
Second quarter, they've been the best team in football.
Yes. And then third quarter, they just cough it up and then have to pull it out of the fire in the fourth quarter. This was kind of against type, right? Which is good. And
no bet.
It is good that you just show that you can do things differently, because that's been the issue, is like, what happens if they get hit in the mouth? And the other thing that we're still waiting on is, what if it's Jalen Hurts down 14 and he's got to do it? You got to put it on his arm and his legs. And to me, that scenario,
what's the scenario?
Is asked and answered for me, man. This guy on the screen is an MVP quarterback. Period. End of story.
He's a dog.
He is that, and he told us that he was that when we interviewed him prior to him being drafted.
Got that dog in him.
Man, to me, he is absolutely 100% proven to me that he's all of that. And out of everything about Philadelphia, this is open and shut. He's your guy for a long time to come.
That's my man right there.
Indeed. Indeed. Although I don't know if Method Man roots for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's a Jets fan.
One would think.
Yeah, he is. Most of the Woo are. Shaolin.
So, fellow Staten Islander.
Yeah.
Hey, so the only question is that still hasn't been answered for some, if there's anything that needs to be answered about the Eagles, is what does happen if this sort of game unfolds against a team that has a little bit more depth and wherewithal and talent than the Houston Texans. That's it. And the question is which team is that going to be on the rest of their schedule?
Christmas.
I gave it to you yesterday.
I know you did. You gave it to me yesterday that it's Green Bay. Although that's a Sunday night game in their house.
Whose house?
And then it's Tennessee, which is just a regular, if you will, Sunday game in their house. It's at the Giants. It's at the Giants. That's one that you have to throw out there. And, of course, there's TJ pounding the table for Christmas Eve at Dallas. Just circle it.
Go Cowboys.
Just circle it. What if the Eagles are undefeated walking into that game? Holy cow, at 14-0.
Oh, I had to keep my
this
fingers
whole
crossed.
Country will just be out of its mind for that. So that's a question about the Eagles. One other question about the Eagles. And I'm going to throw this out. And there's no answer to it. It's all just in the eye of the beholder. They're 8-0 for the first time in their team history.
That's kind of shocking, right?
Well, that you'd figure that they would have had a team that would have come out of the gates because they've had guys from, obviously, the Jaworski era and
Cunningham, Donovan McNabb. I mean, they went to 4 straight NFC Championship games.
Correct.
Those
And then
years.
Reggie
Carson
White.
Wentz
Don't
era.
forget the Buddy Ryan era. Don't forget the era of Rich Kotite that led the Jets to go, maybe that guy's for us.
Shout out Jerome Brown, the late great.
Damn straight, though. Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns. That's your
Harold
Randall
Carmichael.
Cunningham era. Sure. Harold Carmichael from the Jaws era.
That dude that
Wilbert Montgomery, right? You want to throw his name out there?
That dude that Mark Wahlberg played him in the movie.
Vince Papale?
Vince Papale.
No, I'm serious, and it's only, and I'm glad that we're throwing all these names out there because here's my question for you: is this the best Eagles team ever?
No, absolutely not.
LaShawn McCoy's on the phone right now.
Yo, they almost won a Super Bowl.
Okay, I know it's just 8 games in, just throwing it out there. Put it in your head.
I'm gonna note it.
Put it in your head.
Would you rather have that year? What was it? 05 To or this year's AJ Brown? Who's better?
I don't know yet. How does that sound? Because this team yesterday did it all. 18-play drive to answer the Texans' first game opening touchdown drive since last year. And then when they did need it, just march down. They didn't just march down the field. They would just flip one to A.J. Brown and then flip one to Devontae Smith and have Miles Sanders run over you and Gainwell run all over you. And then Goddard had 100 yards last night from the tight end position, and Jordan Davis wasn't there, so maybe that's part of the reason why Dameon Pierce could run right there. But then you got Hargraves with 3 sacks, and then you got Fletcher Cox, and then you got R-Man Slay. And then you got Bradbury, and then you got Brandon Graham, and then I know that you're sitting here and you're like, well, who's the Hall of Famer out there? Kelsey on the line, Lane Johnson on the line. They have some talent, man. As the general manager, if you ever run into him, might tell you if you're holding the wrong sign in his direction in Houston. Seek that piece of video out from our friend Howie Roseman, who gave a little bit of the Philly business back at some of the Philly business thrown his direction. Check out that. Please
NSFW.
Google Howie Roseman.
So retweet. Maybe I'll retweet that from our.
Oh, please do it. Go ahead. Put it at Rich Eisen Show. It's just, it's the what you want in Philadelphia out of your general manager, man. He says it with his chest and his potty mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just putting that out there. No, it can't be, right? Donovan McNabb did this, and
Mike Vick.
honestly,
Foles.
and
Nick
I
Foles
know
got a ring, Rich. Nick Foles got a ring.
I know.
PD
Just throwing it out there. They're building towards it. I still think it's a Buffalo Bills world that we're paying rent in. But Jalen Hurts going back to his hometown and doing that last night, it wasn't even his best stat line either. Lost their first fumble of the season on a brutal botched protection of their quarterback. They got away with it. They're 8-0. And
the play Kelsey was dragging, I think it was, I forget the running back, but Kelsey was dragging him.
Which
you
is
really can't do.
Which you
right?
can't do. And as a matter of fact, as Pro Football Talks Mike Florio pointed out on his Twitter account and on his site, that the league actually sent out videos this week to the clubs to say, we're going to emphasize this. And they
replayed that like
whiffed.
5 times.
And then, then Goddard's shoving, on the quarterback sneak of Hurts. He's shoving Hurts, and he's giving the old Bush push. The Hurts push.
You do what you got to do.
You know what? No, I'm just throwing it out there. And you can, respond if you see this later on our YouTube page or see it later on our Roku Rich Eisen collection page or our Twitter account. No, this team was better, that team was better. But right now, this Eagles team not only has a possible Super Bowl season in their sights, they have an opportunity to be the best Eagles team ever. The coach, I just love Sirianni's just barking at people and high-fiving fans, and they're feeling it. They feel what like the Phillies are putting out there, even though the Phillies are in dire straits right now as it looks, going back to Houston.
What does their record have to be for Nick to win Coach of the Year?
At this point in time, with him being better than Daboll and Seattle's Pete Carroll being 5-3, and
If the Seahawks go 12-5 and the Eagles go 15-2, who gets it?
I think it's Sirianni's world. But, oh yeah, right now what he's doing. He took Jalen Hurts last year and is throwing. He threw his arm around him, wore his T-shirt, bringing him along. Don't you think? Offense, and then Howie Roseman. F yeah, he used his phrase. A.J. Brown. Every time he catches, every Titan fan should just be shaking their head.
Man, I love that guy.
He's dynamite. So that's what I come out of that game with last night. Some might say, well, you know what? They're not all that. They should have blown out the Texans. Whatever. It's an NFL game. You never know. But they still won by 12. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.